Hello and welcome. I'm Chiamaka J. Uwadoka and this is Africa in 10 minutes, where we bring to you the trending business news as reported on Footprint to Africa. On the headlines, Nigeria agrees to cap oil production at 1.8 million barrels per day. Alibaba founder visits Kenya, announces various investments. New international airport commissioned in Kenya. And now the news in details. Members of OPEC and the non-OPEC oil nations met to discuss issues surrounding the oil production output of African oil producers, Libya and Nigeria, both of which were exempted from the production cap agreed by oil-producing countries in a bid to forestall a further decline in oil prices. After the extensive meeting, Nigeria agreed to cap its oil production at 1.8 million barrels per day. This decision was voluntary as Nigeria seeks to conjure support and improve compliance from defaulting member states. Nigeria currently produces about 2.2 million barrels per day, according to figures from its national oil firm, NNPC. In other news, Chinese business magnate and founder of Alibaba, Jack Ma, recently visited Kenya and Rwanda in his first trip to the continent of Africa. In Kenya, Jack Ma met with President Uhuru Kenyatta to discuss ways to empower youth through entrepreneurship and innovation and ways to cooperate in supporting small businesses. Ma said the country can create more opportunities for trade through the use of e-commerce and has the capacity to reach this goal. Ma was accompanied by 38 other billionaires from Chinese Chamber of Commerce who were in Kenya in search of multi-billion-dollar business opportunities with the government and local business people. Jack Ma then visited Kigali, the capital city of Rwanda, where he announced two major investments. The first is a $1.65 million 10-year Chinese conservation program by the Paradise International Foundation. Established by a group of prominent Chinese entrepreneurs, artists, and philanthropists in 2015, the Paradise Foundation focuses on protecting the environment and preserving nature reserves through charitable action, scientific approach, and business management. Ma co-chairs the Paradise Foundation with Tencent founder Pony Ma. The financing will foster linkages between Chinese charitable organizations and Africa's reserves to retain their rich wildlife assets and fighting the trade of illegal wildlife products, including ivory and rhino horn. It will go towards outstanding frontline patrolling staff at the reserves and management expenses of the program. This is the Paradise Foundation's first conservation project in Africa. Making the announcement, Jack Ma said, Africa is a natural habitat for a range of wildlife currently threatened by illegal hunting and wildlife trade. We are very pleased to be able to contribute our resources to countries that need them. The second major announcement by Jack Ma was the creation of a $10 million African Young Entrepreneurs Fund. He made this announcement at the Youth Connect Africa Summit. The fund will support online businesses on the continent. Underscoring the importance of internet access across the world, the business magnate said he plans to roll out a partnership with African universities to teach internet technology, artificial intelligence, and e-commerce. Ma also announced that he would collaborate with UNCTAD to take 200 budding African entrepreneurs to China to get hands-on learning experience from his online retail giant, Alibaba. Moving on, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, said Nine Mobile, formerly known as Etisalat Nigeria and one of the 4 biggest telecommunication companies in Nigeria, remains strong with a solid revenue base. According to him, the Nigeria Communications Commission, the NCC, supported by the CBN, intervened in the company because of its huge contributions to the nation's economy. The CBN governor noted that the Apex Bank and NCC could not allow the company to go down as it would have a negative impact on jobs, which would reflect poorly on the economy. While expressing delight in the indication of interest by some potential investors in the rescue of the communications company, Emefiele said that the interventions were temporal. Under the management of Etisalat, the telco had been struggling to meet its contractual agreements with its creditors before the intervention of the NCC with support of the CBN. In aviation news, Kenya has welcomed a new international airport following the commissioning of the Isiolo International Airport by President Uhuru Kenyatta. This airport is a catalyst to economic development that will come with the expansion of tourism and creation of quality job opportunities, the president said. A key plank of the Lamu Port South Sudan-Ethiopia transport, the LAPSET, the airport is strategically located for Mira, beef and fresh produce exports from Kenya's lower eastern region. Its passenger terminal building has a floor area of 5,000 square meters, a capacity of 125,000 passengers annually, and a 200-car passenger car park. The airport's terminal building amenities include 9 domestic and international check-in counters, a VIP lounge, restaurants, duty-free shops, banking facilities, forex bureaus, airline front offices, and shops. The Isiolo International Airport is expected to increase tourist numbers and boost the economy by opening up the northern tourism belt, which boasts ecotourism, rich cultural heritage, national reserves, private ranches, wildlife conservancies, and an anticipated resort city among its attractions. The Nigerian Export and Promotion Council (NEPC) is seeking 5 billion naira from the country's government to ensure its local industries become more competitive. Mr. Olusegun Awolowo, an executive director of the agency, made this disclosure during an inspection visit to some companies in Kano. He said one of our major aims for this visit is to find out the challenges these companies are facing and find a way to see how we can assist them in addressing them. The intervention is part of the federal government's Export Development Fund for Industries for Pre-Shipment Incentive for Exporters, which has been stopped 3 years ago. He added that if the funds are approved, it will go a long way towards boosting the country's economy by providing more job opportunities and greater positive externalities. He explained that the industries need more support from the government because more than 5,000 people are working under one of the companies, which contributes so much to reduce the rate of unemployment in the state and the country. He further explained that the efforts to support the companies are not only in the areas of their export, but equally important is their contributions to the country's economy. Awolowo lauded the companies for complementing the federal government's efforts towards reducing the number of unemployed youths in the country. Some of the companies visited operate within a diverse range of industries, including spinning, tannery, plastic, and bags production. Total and leading e-payment services Worldline have signed technological, commercial, and financial agreements with African fintech InTouch to support the deployment of Guichet Unique in Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Côte d'Ivoire, Kenya, Mali, Morocco, Guinea, and Senegal. Guichet Unique is an innovative digital solution that provides retail networks with a unique, customer-friendly device that makes it possible to securely and seamlessly accept all means of payment, including mobile money, payments through private label cards, and cash. It also enables the distribution of third-party services such as subscriptions to media content, bill payment, money transfer, card top-up, banking, and insurance. InTouch is targeting deployment of the solution in more than 5,000 retail network and independent points of sale in each of these countries. Guichet Unique is already deployed in more than 170 Total service stations and more than 600 independent points of sale in Senegal, where it manages more than 30,000 daily transactions. Under the agreements, Total and Worldline will fund the first phase of deployment of Guichet Unique in these countries and become shareholders in InTouch. Total will deploy the solution in its service station network in these countries, with possible further deployments in another 30 African and Middle Eastern countries, in line with its overall strategy of offering innovative solutions to its customers. Worldline will lend InTouch its payments expertise and provide a secure and industrial hosting infrastructure to enable the deployment and running of Guichet Unique. This transaction awaits regulatory approval. That concludes the news of the week. Please stay tuned for a recap of the stories. On the headlines, Nigeria agrees to cap oil production at 1.8 million barrels per day. Alibaba founder visits Kenya, announces various investments. New international airport commissioned in Kenya. 9mobile's revenue base remains solid, says CBN governor. Nigeria's export promotion agency seeks $15 million to support local industries. Total and partners to support deployment of a digital retail network solution in 8 African countries. To keep up with the trending business news in Africa, stay connected. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and connect with us on LinkedIn. These news and reports are called from Footprints Africa. For daily updates and more business news in Africa, log on to www.footprintsafrica.com today. Footprints Africa, business news made in Africa by Africans.